ho, ho, ho. Hip hip parade for Christmas vacation.
Hey guys, welcome back to the House of Blackout. Our veterans moment at our round square table. We have a lot of guests here tonight, and some, our hero veterans sitting at the table, and I can't wait to hear some of the stories that we're going to hear, and give them a chance to speak about some experience they've had in the military. And we also have another special guest, Jonathan. Jonathan he's doing community service, and he spent his community service hours here at the Veterans Store working with the veterans, and we're going to get his experience on how he felt about his time working with the veterans in his community service time. We also have Tommy here. Tommy is our project manager. Tommy does a lot around here as volunteer for the veterans here at the center. Guys, we ate good again tonight. We had anything from pizza to deviled eggs to cookies, tacos to, it seems like every Wednesday night. If you don't show up to this Wednesday night meeting, you guys just ain't eating well. And it's hard to tell what we're going to have next week. But it is an honor for me to be sitting here and with my partner, Don Brown. And Dom is a radio host up in Greencastle, and with, I keep forgetting the initials.
WRGG.
If you guys have not tuned into that, it's every Sunday between 6 and 7.
Yep.
And it is called the Warrior Power Hour.
Yep.
And it's all about veterans. And it's on the radio every Sunday between 6 and 7 in Greencastle, PA. Mm-hmm. And Dom is the radio hero up there. So you need to tune him in. And also every Wednesday we will always have a veterans YouTube spot here. Mr. Brown, anything we need to bring up this week on the show? Anything special? Anything coming up?
Oh yeah, we do have something coming up. I'm sorry. Boom. Let me read this right quick. Yep, the raffle. So we have a gun raffle at VFW Hamilton Myers Post 6070. The gun raffle is on September 25th. No, I'm sorry. No, it's on January 14th. Yeah, January 14th. It's tickets are $25, and they have anything from scopes to 12 gauge shotguns to Smith & Wesson 9mm, Rugers, Browning, you can name it. It's all here. Cash. You can win cash, scopes, rifles, shotguns, handguns, you name it. So
bazookas, hand grenades,
yeah,
A-bomb.
So if you're looking for a ticket, contact us.
Yeah. We all confiscated this from Afghanistan. We got a couple A-bombs too. So.
Oh yeah, RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that VFW was in the risk of closing, so they figured they'd do a gun raffle to keep it open. So we definitely want to support our local VFWs and make sure they stay open because they was affected big time by COVID because they had to close down. It was hard for them to get back open and to have a full-time cook and full-time bartender. So we're just trying to do a big fundraiser so they can still be open to the public and to our veterans.
Me and Brother Mike bought one of them tonight.
Yep, sure did.
We went in partnered on that deal.
Yeah, we sure did.
We're going to win all the guns.
Boom! Off of 2 tickets, I tell you.
They're all right.
Yes,
so
sir.
if you guys didn't get one of them tickets, you need to get a hold of him and get
yes.
one of these tickets.
717-331-7402. Bam! Don Brown.
Bingo.
That's it.
All right, guys, so let's go around with some introductions.
Yes.
I want to introduce all these fine people here at the table tonight. And we're going to start with myself. It's Chuck Timbrow.
Don Brown, Army, 16 years.
Toby Rodriguez, retired Navy.
Mike Connor, Air Force.
Balmerhausen, Air Force. 5 honorable discharges. Ask me about it.
5.
I actually do. I know. It's probably kind of rare.
We learn something here every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday we learn something.
Every Wednesday night you learn something.
Every Wednesday.
Something I never heard of.
Yeah, it's actually.
I mean, I've heard of it, but I didn't think I'd
Well,
be sitting next to
I
the
could-
recipient of that.
I can tell about it when we tell, but I think you
Okay.
should keep going ahead.
Yeah,
Up Holiday Army.
Army.
that's right. Oh,
Barbara Bennett, girlfriend.
There you go.
Tom the handyman.
Jonathan Neal to,
Did you forget who you was again?
Service.
Did you forget who you was
no,
again?
I forgot we were done doing. Getting nothing for Christmas.
gotta love it.
I forgot.
Don't worry about it, people. 10 minutes ago, he turned the microwave on. He pissed himself, forgot who he was for 10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Microwaves do that.
Yeah, microwaves do that. Yeah. And Long Island Ice.
But guys, it is an honor to always be here with veterans.
Yes.
I never served. These gentlemen sitting to my left here, they never served. But I've been doing this for 15 years, and it's always an honor to get a chance to do something, to be a part of it. And my dad served. He was U.S. Army, and he was Vietnam era. And so this kind of helps me cope with the part that, as of today, I can say I honestly made an effort to put some time in to do my share. And and I don't mean no credit for it. It's just something that in my heart I chose to do, and I am very grateful for the people that I have met. From Rolling Thunder in D.C. all the way down to Florida, Texas. I mean, anywhere that I've been in this country with that truck, the people that I've got to meet, the veterans that I've got to meet, the Gold Star families that I've got to meet, the mom of the Afghanistan soldier that was one of the 13 that was killed. It's an honor to get a chance to meet people that that you can honestly say, thank you for your service, and to bless their family, and to have a chance for you to speak from your heart to people in that situation. I think our topic tonight is going to be, what did you get out of your service? The reason why I didn't say military service is because we have a couple guys here that didn't serve, and we want to get their feed on this. But what did you gain the most? What did you learn, or what did you take home from your military service, from being in? And we're going to start with Mr. Brown, and we'll end with me.
All right, too easy. So, let's see. What did I get out of my service? So, I did 16 years, and joined at 17. Got out in 2014, and what I've learned was, no matter what era, I always have something in common with a veteran before me and after me. I never would have thought that. My granddad did Korean War and did Vietnam, and I never thought that I would have something separately in common with a relative like that. Of course, he's my granddad, he loves him, but it's a different type of love when you both are combat veterans. So that's what I've learned out of my 16 years of service.
I've been blessed to have served 23 years. In the 23 years I served, I got to meet probably some of the most intelligent people in the world. And the people I've come in contact with, I just love them to death. Just being able to talk to a fellow veteran, especially these Vietnam vet guys, they get all my loyalty. Love them to death, because without them I would not be old enough to have served. Probably been a communist. That's about it for me.
I don't think so.
Nah, I'd rather be dead than red. Rather be dead than
Well,
red.
it's an appropriate subject and certainly an appropriate question. This time of the year during holidays, everybody tends to kind of pull in a little bit and think about what they had, what they've been blessed with, and all the good things that hopefully they have to look forward to. I mean, I know Christmas was always special to me as a little guy. As far as the service is concerned, I graduated from a military, ROTC, Army ROTC high school. I couldn't seem to find a place in the public schools, we'll leave it at that. My parents ended up sending me to the old Charlotte Hall Military Academy down in Southern Maryland, which is the oldest school in the United States. It was an academy for the King of England used to send his officer candidates, and they trained them right down there. That was their training school before 1776 when we started this big thing with the British. And it's still there today, but now it's become a veterans home. And so when I got into the service, I had a little hint of what was going on. I wasn't quite a neophyte in it. I knew a little bit about what I was up against, but I didn't quite know exactly what I was up against. It turned out to be a little different than what I thought. But like Toby and Dom said, I think it's probably a good thing for any young person growing up if they could have even just a little brush with the military, just some of the spin-off that comes from the way the veterans in this country do things, the way they conduct themselves in life. I think it's a good lesson. I know I learned a lot of hard lessons, good lessons. It's sort of. I got a long time to think back, folks. I got about 50-some years to think back on it. But as it all turned out, it was all good for me. And I have no problem with anything that was put in front of me. I just was glad to come back home to my mom and dad. And that was a pretty good deal to me. And so that's it for me.
We're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
No.
Well, I guess I promised to say how I have 5 honorable discharges, so I'll just hit that one up. That was, people were demonstrating against the Vietnam War in my high school, and they were passing out armed bands and everything, and I lost my cousin over there. His name was John Volmerhouse, and so I thought, well, I'm going to join up, and I wanted to join something good. A couple of my buddies were in the Marines, a couple of my buddies were in the Army, but one of my friends was in the Air Force, and he had just joined, and he spoke very highly of it when he came back, so I joined the Air Force. And so I did my tour, and it was great. I mean, there was a war going on, but it was good. And I did lose 2 of my friends. I didn't go in country. I supported, and I was at Fairchild Air Force Base, a B-52 base, and then I got out, and was out for a while, and I think it was 3 years later, and so I got an honorable discharge from there. That's number one. Then I joined the reserves, and I didn't join the reserves where I joined the active reserves, and I was actually kind of a reserve bum a little bit, and ended up Selfridge Air Force Base, and then to 459th in D.C., where I got another honorable discharge after I finished I believe, it's been a long time, I think it was 3 years tour. So then I got out, and I wasn't going to go back in because that was pretty boring over there in D.C., very, very boring. They tried to talk me into staying, but I didn't. So I went back to playing music. I played music for a living for quite a while, and I was playing in music in an NCO club in the 167th in Martinsburg. I was wearing my sergeant pin-on stripes on my leather, and was being harassed by a couple of the people there that said, "Where did you get those?" And they had a few to drink, and after I told them, they said, "Were you honorable?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "You want to join?" I said, "Well, I don't know." And they said, "The recruiter's sitting right over here." They sent the old recruiter over there, and sure enough, that Monday I was in his office, so that would be number 3. Except for while I was there, got activated for 6 months for Bosnia, got activated 6 months for the ID thing, which I don't even know if that had a name. and we did Operation Desert Fox, which was prior to the, some of the guys went over there. I did not go over there. But because I was in 6 months, over 6 months each time when I got activated, and the time for the Bosnia thing, I went to Rhine, Maine, had to get that base ready. It was a lot of work. So I'll keep it short. But those were 2 other honorable discharges that I got. So I ended up with 5.
Wow.
Actually doing sort of the same thing that I did in the Air Force, only I'm working at another place now for Department of Homeland Security until I retire. So that's it in a nutshell.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Like Mike said, I went in, I was, what do you call it, not a troublemaker, I wouldn't fight, anybody could, whip me or anything, I wouldn't do nothing. In the Army, I got in there and they showed me what I had to do to make it through this work. And that's what I've been doing ever since. So, only if I have to.
That's right.
And that's what built me up to be the person I am now. Where I was telling this gentleman here, I had to be hypnotized for my hatred. And if you looked at me wrong, I didn't care how big you were, I'd fight you. And I was talking to a fellow veteran at Bank Week up in Gettysburg. And the more I talked to him about things, the madder I was getting. But to me, I thought I was sitting here talking just like I am to you. But he says, no, you're getting madder and madder. And she said I was too. So I let him hypnotize me. And I've been pretty good ever since.
Awesome.
When something came into my mind when he said it, it just kind of light bulb went on about what you were telling us. If you think about it, as soft-spoken as he is, and mild-mannered as he is, there's an old saying that says, "Still waters run deep, buyer beware." So that's what came back to me when he said that, and I found that to be true in my life too. It's sometimes the guys men, women don't say too much, and they don't propagate so much. They sort of keep to themselves.
55 to 60 gallons and a whoop ass.
Skate at your own risk with those guys.
Right.
You want to be real careful about
Sometimes it's the quiet ones you got to watch out
who
for.
you pick on. Yeah.
Yes.
The guys that talk a lot, I never had much problem with them myself. They kind of give themselves away up front, but it's the ones that don't. You just gotta watch.
You gotta beware.
As long as they keep bringing them deviled eggs, man.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about for sure.
He's going to be dropping some A-bombs later.
Yeah, I told my wife I had to stop and get gas.
Fill it up.
Fill her up.
How about you, ma'am? Anything?
Just respect the veterans immensely.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate everything that they've done for this country and feel bad for the ones that are active right now, but God bless all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
It means a lot.
Mr. Tommy?
Yeah, I'm Tom, the handyman here, and I just want everybody to know it's a great honor working.
The handyman or the project manager?
Project manager.
Whatever.
He's the project
Just
general.
don't call me too late
The
for lunch.
project
I don't care.
Boom. There you go.
Anybody that drove a 70 Cuda.
Yeah, I had one.
Tommy, too late, huh, for lunch.
Yeah, don't call me that. My dad fought in the Korean War. He ended up, he was on the 5th parallel the way I understood it. He started out, tank retriever, staff sergeant, and then after that, well, he decided to ask Mom if she would marry him, and if she was going to say no, he was going for 20 years. But Mom said yes. And he took his part, and I'm considered the war baby. He came over on leave and got Mom pregnant. So that's me.
There you go. Jonathan, what did you get out of your experience of
Community service, all the knowledge, all the respect, all the men on the team
want to mention people. And I appreciate them for doing what they do. And rest in peace to everybody that's gone missed.
Well said. Very well said.
I have one other thing I want to mention. This morning, before I came in, one of the veterans that comes up and sits with us at these things, and he's always around. I stopped by his house this morning to invite him and his wife, not only to come here, remind him of the meeting tonight, but also we're going to have a little Christmas Eve get together, and I wanted to invite him and his wife. He told me this morning he's in the Veterans Hospital in Martinsburg right now with COVID. They also found a blood clot in him. They don't quite know what they're going to do. So, what's that make number 4, Chuck? For
Yeah.
us in 6 weeks, they've gone down.
Crazy.
Our veterans, and it's
so we can include them in our prayers.
so I just want to ask everybody to include Jake. His name's Jake.
Yeah.
He was an Air Force veteran.
Vietnam veteran.
Yeah, he was there about the same time I was, I think. He's 69.
Vietnam veteran.
He, real nice fella.
Great guy.
Maybe everybody could just say, help Jake before you go to sleep tonight.
Yes, sir.
That'll go a long way to helping him get out of that VA center, because I know if he had his ruthers, he'd rather be sitting right here.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting the breeze, yeah.
Yeah, we've been losing some to
Yeah,
some
we
bad,
have, haven't we, Chuck?
bad
Seems like
situation.
just the last 6-8 weeks, I mean, it just seems like it, I don't know.
That's what was so hard with me with the VA center. When I go down to the VA center, during the summertime, I would have been down there 8, 9 times during the summer, and I've got to the point where I go down on a Sunday, they do the bingo. Yeah, I would head up the bingo. You know, I'd be up there on the microphone talking to these guys, you know, doing their bingo and carrying on and going out on the patio and smoking cigarettes with them. And you know, at times we had 20 veterans sitting out there, you know, just sitting around talking. And I think the last episode with me was Miss Mary. She was World War II. She was Air Force, and the first time I met her, she was in her wheelchair, sitting down by herself in a little lobby area in her in the section that she was housing in. And I walked down, I took her a rose, and gave her a rose, and of course, you know, she gave me a big hug, and then she talked, and then you know, we talked God knows how long. And so a couple months later, I come back, and it was Father's Day, and we went in to see all the men and to give stuff away to all the, you know, all the men. And of course, I had to see Mrs. Rose. So there she was, sitting in that same lobby. So I went down and I told the guys, I said, go ahead and keep giving the stuff out. I'm going down to see my buddy, sit down there with Miss Rose again, by an hour or so, and we would talk. And then come in for Christmas and spent an hour with her for Christmas when we did our Christmas giveaway down at the VA. And then the next Mother's Day, I went in and we always took long stem roses to all the women in the VA center, not just the moms, to all the women, because some of the women, there was 2 women, 2 rooms. So you just don't go in and ask, hey, are you a mom? You give her a rose, and the other one's sitting there, she don't get a rose. You don't do that. So you gotta give a rose to everybody. And so I took, you know, 6 roses and had them, you know, nice wrapped up. We took them from Miss Rose, and walked down her. She wasn't there, wasn't sitting in the thing, and I noticed her door was shut, where her room was. And I went to walk over and knock on the door, and the nurse said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Mrs. Rose?" And she said, "Honey, Miss Rose is no longer with us." And my heart about dropped to my feet, and I missed her. She had passed away the day before Mother's Day. So I I couldn't continue on that day. I took the roses and I laid it on her where she
Sorry
always
about that.
sat.
Sorry about that.
There was a chair there where she always sat beside in her wheelchair, and I laid the roses on that chair and stood there a minute, and I walked out and I told my wife, I said, y'all gonna have to continue on for a while without me. And I just went out of the VA hospital and sit out on the bench and just, kind of took the wind out of me as far as wanting to even be there at that point. And I don't know if that was the correct feeling to have, but I haven't been back since. That is probably the 11th or 12th person I've met in the VA center that has visited the Christmas tree, what they call the Tree of Life in the VA center. Where you pass away, they put your picture on the tree down in the lobby, and at one time I had 6 pictures on that tree at one time of ones that I met, and I always took flyers in and stuck by the ones that I've met. But I kind of like told my wife, I said, I don't know if I can really do this anymore. I just, I said it's a lot to handle. I said, and to keep losing people, you're going into a place where they're up in ages, and you automatically know this, and they're not going to live forever. I said, but it's hard to get to know people, and like that they're gone. And so I haven't done anything down at the VA. Now I have taken stuff down and donated it, but I have not been in the VA center to really visit like I used to. Maybe one day I'll get that back and be able to do it again. But it's very hard. We just, like Mike said, we lost some veterans that sit at the tables here that has moved on, and it is. It's really hard to accept that like Jeff was PTSD. I mean, major. He was a major PTSD, and he was quiet.
He loved to be
He
down
stayed
there.
away. He stayed away from people, from engagement of talking until the end. And at the end, you couldn't shut him up. He sat, right there in the corner where you're sitting, and he would just jump into conversation. And he would talk, he'd laugh, he'd carry on. He'd come in the door when nobody's here, and he'd just start talking loud. Hey, how y'all doing? And big change. And then 2 weeks later, bam, he's gone.
One thing that might help you, and has helped me, and I've had my brother, I lost my brother in 2013, and I don't want to go into it right now, but is that they, in my belief, is that they are with the Lord or will be at Judgment Day, whatever, it's different, there's different schools of thought on that, but so we should rejoice as opposed to being letting it get to us and maybe even making us do things that I stayed away from some of the things my brother and I were hot rodders, we did a lot of things, and for a while there I kind of got away from that, but then I thought, well, what would he want me to do? And so that helped me. It might help you.
I've seen a lot of grown people cry right here, including me. And trust me, no war is ever won. It is.
It's definitely something that you'll never walk away from here saying that you didn't learn something. It doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how old you are. The day you stop learning is the day you might as well just go ahead and die. Because if you don't learn something new every day, then you're not doing yourself any good to be here. And I learn something new every day. Every day I learn something. It could be from the smallest thing to something major, and but well, Mr. Brown, so what do you think?
I think it was a great topic. And we all have, we all grow in our own little ways, in our own pace. And I've learned some things today too, so it's pretty awesome. So that's all I have.
I guess I thrive a little bit, on what I've done in my past with the truck, and what I tried to accomplish with the truck, and then moving from the truck to the memorial out here, to the store here, and I think that it's no Grammy winner. It's not nothing to do with fame. It ain't nothing to do with fortune. I think it's more of showing the highest respect that you can possibly show, but you never think of the consequences of the people that you're going to lose in front of you. And I think it's like back to what the gentleman was saying. It gets hard. It does.
Yeah.
And but I've never given up 15 years. A lot of people would have packed their bags and walked away from what I had started. They'd have probably sold the truck and just got away from it. And I've been to the ground, all the way back up in the air, and then back down to the ground again, and drug through the dirt to get where I'm at. And I've never let go, and I don't plan on letting go. I know my health is getting bad. I know the truck is going to end up going up for sale. I'm going to have to let the truck go, but the money from the truck is going to come into the store. I'm not going to let the store go. I'm not going to let this veterans thing go. I don't have to travel to do this. Me traveling is done. I got congestive heart failure, kidney problems, and some other things that's going on, and traveling is out for me. So I think what I need to do is try to maneuver things with what I have started to move off and place that money back into things that going to allow me to keep moving forward.
Right.
And I've really thought about what I wanted to do with the truck, and I think that my move at this point is to all my retirement from 35 years of driving is in that truck, and I think it's time to try to recoup some of that money and make my future with this go further. And it's not about the money. If it was about the money, I'd already sold it and put it back.
Right.
It's the point of having money to make this successful, and I want this to grow. And this is something that I don't have to go very far. I live 1 mile away from here. It's something that I don't have to go far and do, but I can make some great achievements out of here.
Oh,
And I hope to have the second section of the building down here to make a veterans hall, no alcohol, 100% clean. Make a veterans hall, a bingo hall or a card hall, whatever they want to do. And to make this a place where a veteran can come and play his bingo and not have to worry about his friend next to him falling over puking on him because he's half drunk or something. I ain't got nothing against drinking, don't get me wrong. It's just I believe with veterans, when a veteran goes into the VFW, the American Legion, and they start talking their stories and they drink away and they forget. They don't remember anything because they were drunk.
Yeah, they're
Here,
trying
they
to-
sit down and they're talking to a veteran, and they're having a serious conversation,
Yep.
and two veterans are really clicking, talking to each other. When they both leave there, they're gonna remember
Yeah.
everything they talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and it might help them, you know, instead of drowning their sorrows in a bottle. And,
So can we grab a cup of coffee and-
yes, and I'm a believer in that.
Well, can
Don't
we
get me wrong,
approach
I
another
drink.
subject?
I used to drink, and I still drink every once in a while. I drink beer, but I have nothing against drinking. It's just I don't believe that with everything that's going on with our veterans today, and all the bullshit that our veterans got to go through, and the way the government screws our veterans, the way politics screws our veterans, I think the last thing we need to do is put a screwdriver in front of them.
I've been
I
drunk
think
twice
they're
in my
getting
life,
enough
that's all.
screws.
Yeah.
Why give them another screw?
Yeah.
I'd
You
like
know?
to ask one question. So how do you make your omelet? Do you make your omelet with one egg? Or do you add milk to it? I mean,
We had to get this
I
omelet
wanted
thing
to-
in
I
here
wanted to
somehow.
add it in there.
Well, let me tell you something. When you make an omelet, you gotta put a little bit of milk in it, and you let it finish on one side. You put some cheese on it, all right? And then you flip that bad boy over very gently, all right?
Gently.
Let's
Yes.
get Hell's Kitchen in
Yeah, boom, there you go.
Sir.
Make sure you don't burn it
there.
either.
They'll make
That's
the
why I
decision.
let it work out.
If there's a way to burn it, I
Make
will.
sure- Make sure you don't burn it.
I'm
That's
saying
right.
Yeah. But anyway,
I like
I
it.
am
Last
thankful.
time I got drunk.
I am thankful that God has given me the opportunity to do what I could do.
Yeah.
And I look forward to a bigger future with plans to making this grow, and with everybody here to make this grow. I think this is going to be a very hot spot for days to come.
Indeed.
And you know, and I look forward to you know, one day being able to just sit out in the parking lot and look in there and say, wow, I don't have to go in there, because I already know everything in there is working
Yeah.
top notch, 100%, and I can just go back home, prop my feet up.
How long did you drive the truck, Chuck?
35. 35 years.
No, good deal.
You know, everybody, I think men, women alike, that come on this earth, come here with some sort of an intention of leaving some kind of a legacy. Legacies sometimes seem to be long in coming, but the legacies that we leave are actually pretty short term compared to the length of time the legacy lasts as eternity moves forward. And this legacy at Blackout, and every time I have to take a little time to tout on him because he don't want to tout on himself, I can understand that. But having said that, no, all kidding aside, he's done something that I don't think that too many people could have gone through what he's gone through over the last 15 years. I had a pretty smart father. He taught me probably most of what I've learned for what it's worth today. He said to me, you know, boy, he used to call me boy, especially when he wasn't happy with me. He'd say, you know, boy, what do you think you're taking with you when you go out of this earth? Because you come here by yourself, and you're going to leave by yourself. I don't remember how old I was, it wasn't too big, and I said to him, I said, I don't really know, Dad. He said, the only thing you're going to leave this earth with that's of any value is the thoughts of what other people think of you and thought of you. You ain't leaving here with nothing else that's worth a whole lot of any value. So as this man has been working with the veterans and all this year, he's well on his way to quite a legacy, as I see it. And hopefully, as he said tonight, it will continue on through other people, through his family, his daughter, his wife, and all of us, every one of us here. He speaks for every veteran in this country that's ever gotten behind a battle line. Every one of them. doesn't matter where they were, who they were, when they were. It's irrelevant. He speaks for all of them, and he really does. And I've gotten to know him pretty well here since he put the store here. And I think it's fortuitous on my part that I had the pleasure and have had the pleasure to align myself with this man. And so I guess my point is, again, as I back up a little on you, this time of the year, at Christmas time, these are the kind of things, the soft touches, I think, in life that really matter. These are the little things that they don't jump out in the headlines, they're not in the newspapers, they're not on the radio, they're not on TV. The American people, we don't see these kind of things going on. But I can guarantee you, they go on every day behind some set of four walls, behind some corner. They go on. And that's what keeps us all moving forward. And we need to take time to thank each other for everything we've all contributed. And as my dad used to say to me, boy, stay the course. Stay the course.
Chuck's been my inspiration.
Yeah. So Chuck, with that, I do have a closing remark. As I was thinking about it, and like what Mike said and the guy on the end said, you know, because I don't deal with passing away very well. So what I've learned from me, that when you talk to someone or get to know someone and they pass on, they're giving you some of them so you can pass that on. And it hurts. Trust me, it hurts.
Oh, boy.
It hurts like hell.
Oh boy.
But that's part of, like what you said, Mike, that's part of that legacy. And that's what I've learned. And that's what helps me cope. Yeah.
Pass it on.
Yeah.
Keep moving it.
That's
Don't let it lay dormant for too long.
Right.
You know, sometimes you lose the perspective on what you started out to do in the first place.
Yeah.
So you got to keep it moving, you know, as time goes on. And I'm not saying that the veterans are the only group of people in this country that do it, because
No.
they're a wonderful organization. St. Jude's, I mean, I could go on forever here. Good people that do good things.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure that, you know, in the end here, no matter what opposition all of us are up against, because we all have some opposition we're fighting, stay the course.
Yeah.
Stay the course, no matter what.
It's like my saying, stay on your path.
That's it.
God gave you a path to run, stay on that path.
That's it.
Don't wander off.
See, I think you ought to be one of us. I think you are one of us.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, you
most
are.
definitely.
Yes.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like God gave us you
yep,
for that truck and all,
that's
for
right.
what you've done for us. So as far as I'm concerned, I think everybody else, you're one of us.
He is.
Yep.
I mean,
Thank you.
he couldn't be any more one of us if he tried.
I told him he's the only person I know that never served a day in the military and got promoted to general overnight.
Yeah, he's a damn general today,
Yeah.
for God's sakes.
How the hell did he
I
do
was
that?
an inpatient when I saw that truck. And trust me, I searched for that truck on one weekend.
You know,
And that's what gave me, you know, my drive.
I've had a chance to ride in that thing. It's I can get up in it, but it's hell getting down. Those little excursions are few and far between. But when you're in that truck and you ride and you're going up and down the road, and it seems like every fifth car that's coming towards you wants to beep, wants to wave, holler something at you, and everybody behind you is doing the same thing, especially when she's sort of in her splendor with her flags, and at nighttime when the lights are all on. And
Yeah.
I mean, all I can say is, even if I weren't a veteran, even if I wasn't, what I feel in here, the pride I feel from being in that big hunk of steel, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You'd have to ride it to understand where I'm going with that. And it's just, there's just something, it's almost magic. There's something about that truck that's magical. It really is.
What motor are you running in that? What motor are you running in that?
650 horsepower Detroit.
Detroit diesel. Yes,
With
sir.
a big diesel in it.
Yes, sir. Detroit, my hometown, buddy. That's been a long time since I lived there. That's where I come from.
I'll tell you, first time I seen it, I was amazed.
Yep.
I couldn't believe my eyes. And then after that, I've been looking for it all the time.
Yep.
It's easy on the eyes. Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I wanted
It's
to
what you
drive
call
it.
easy on the eyes.
I appreciate everybody's conversation tonight. Appreciate everybody being here. God bless our veterans. God bless you guys for being here. Appreciate everything that you guys done for our country, and everybody else out there that has served. God bless you, and thank you for tuning in to the House of Blackout with Don Brown and Chuck Timbrow. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also Blackout, House of Blackout Coffee is coming here in the future. We decided to go ahead and do our own grind beans and make our own blend of Blackout Veterans Tribute Coffee.
Awesome.
And that will be here in the store for long. So, along with the honey is a big success here. So, hopefully, bigger and better things to come. I want to thank you guys. God bless you guys for tuning in. Every Wednesday, our YouTube channel will be up.
Yep.
Just look for the big black truck and the theme of Jimi Hendrix on the guitar.
There you go.
Playing in.
Too easy.
One more thing. I know all of you out there are probably wondering where and how the name of Blackout came to be. Well, stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you where Blackout came from the next meeting. I'm going to tell you how that word originated and how it ended up being with the truck and Chuck. So
There you
just
go.
give
He's
you a
gonna
reason
spill.
to tune
He's
back
gonna
in.
spill
That's
my.
right.
He's gonna spill my historical beans on the next ceremony.
We can grind them up, make coffee out of them.
Too
All right.
easy.
God bless you guys and thank you.
It's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time.